Hello everyone and welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. Today's video, we're working on this left front. And even though this whole area doesn't look right, the problem is isolated right up here. Now if you look real close, you can see there's a whole bunch of tiny little stones in this white line defect wedging it open. Now they didn't cause this defect, but rather are working their way inside it. And that defect formed on the inside of the foot. If you notice here, notice this redness around that. The same pressures that caused that defect to form likely caused this redness many months ago. But now we've got rocks, not only in this white line, but tucked up underneath this sole that we need to get to work on. Now the natural question is, if this happened many months ago, why was this not addressed sooner? But you have to realize that any defects or any compromised areas in this sole or in this white line are happening when it forms, and that's happening on the inside of the foot. That means on the outside, it's still covered with good quality horn. It's not until this defective area or this compromised sole makes it to the outside, the bacteria is able to enter it. And that's when that defect is exposed. And that's when these tiny little rocks that I'm pulling out now are able to get in there. And up until this point, there would be no signs of discomfort from her until that bacteria was able to get in there and start causing problems. And as you can see, there's still more stones up underneath there. Now that we've got the area we need to work on identified, we're going to get this foot trimmed up and we're going to put a rubber block on that other claw. Knowing that it's not going to be in my way, I can put that on right now. Many of you have noticed that I've switched the glue that I've used recently, and that's just because of the hot temperatures we've had. This glue sets up a little bit slower, which is perfect so I can get that block in place a little bit easier. And yep, there's another one, and that's not the last either. I get a ton of comments in the comments section wondering why we don't just glue rubber blocks to all the claws ahead of time to prevent things like this from happening. But you got to remember that most of the problems that we see in the sole of the cow's foot originate from the inside out. Putting a block on that is not going to prevent that. Not only that, but if we did have blocks applied, we would have to remove those blocks and reposition those blocks every couple months, or they would end up causing problems, actually. It would change the foot angle as that block began to grow toward the toe. So even if we could do it, it wouldn't necessarily solve a lot of problems. You can see there's still another one yet inside there. We need to get out. If you've ever wondered how thick the sole is, you can see from this angle, it's still plenty thick even after trimming, a solid ½ inch. And finally, we got that last little stone out of there. Now it's time to wash it down thoroughly with chlorhexidine and get that salicylic acid wrap in place. And here you can see exactly what that block does by giving that other claw some relief when we put this foot down. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.